Hey, good afternoon, fellas. We here, Superman Podcast. I'm Jay Weezy.
Texas Buck.
Go Kent.
Hey, man, today we're gonna go over. There was a couple
Yo,
games going
we
on right
got
now. They had
Hey,
one that
hold on,
went
hold on, hold on.
final.
Before we start, man, this is New Year's Eve. Brought to you by Small Batch Bourbon Whiskey. Now you see, this is not really small batch. This is a big batch for Texas Buck
yo,
here, and I'm just letting y'all
yeah.
know it's gonna go down here shortly. Matter of fact, I'm
Lord
gonna go
have
ahead and
mercy.
take the first ceremonial sip to get this bad boy popping off.
Oh man, this guy. Hey
Go
man.
ahead.
Hey, my dude about to
I'm
get
good. I
he
got I
about to
got a
get
two
fucked
year
up,
Diet
man.
Coke. We good. Huh?
Hey, he about to get fucked up. Hey, he's already ready, man.
Hey,
And
2025.
Hey, what you got there, man? What, 1792?
Yeah, this is
And this
bourbon, man.
alcoholic ass dude.
This is bourbon.
you got the Yellowstone.
Hey,
Yeah, this
right.
is for
Hey,
the
he
grown folk.
ready.
This ain't for the weak hearted right here. This ain't for the faint
Hey,
hearted right here. This is for the grown
hey,
right here.
I don't really drink,
Yeah,
so I don't drink no more, man. So,
me either.
I don't drink much, but I got a nice little stash. I got a little stash going on.
hey,
But
sometimes you
bourbon,
need
you got
that. Hey,
control of
sometimes
bourbon.
you need that stress reliever, man.
In, in
Yeah.
the word, in the words of somebody great, you sound like chopped liver to me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Me and hangovers, man.
Yes,
We
sir.
don't
Yes,
get
sir.
along,
Yeah,
man.
I ain't
So,
messing with that.
hey,
I'm
Chris,
good,
no.
man. Diet
You
Coke is
sure
enough
said to
for
me.
me.
Hey,
That's
Chris,
good.
no.
Diet Coke is enough for me, man.
You say you be drinking Diet Coke.
That's
Well,
it right there. That's all I
I'm
need.
probably the first one to die of all of us, so I'm gonna speeding it up.
Here we go. So can we get
I
to the
will
sports?
be.
We
Make
about to hear this
make
crap.
sure when I'm
Sports,
gone,
please.
stand me up.
Hey, I will
Can
be
we
in the
get to
gym
the
So my
today.
sports?
eyes
I
is
just
open.
found
So I can see
out.
all you.
I just found out that Planet Fitness is not closed, so I will be there after I visit my mom. You know what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying?
I went there. Oh, yeah, I did my workout already, man.
Yeah,
Doing all
I
sport
didn't get a
mode.
chance to do it. I had to work today, and then LJ was here, so all
Oh,
right.
Jesus.
Yep. Hey, let's get started, fellas. Let's get started.
Let's do it.
So
Let's do it.
we're gonna go over. I want to go over the game, Michigan, Alabama, and I want to go over the four playoff games. The first game starts at 7:30 tonight. So first, we're gonna go over the Alabama Michigan game. I'm gonna let you start, Texas Buck.
Yeah, definitely, man. Hey, good matchup, SEC, Big Ten. Michigan's coming off of really, I mean, outside of that Ohio State game, we all seen them the last game of the season, but even coming down the stretch, they were playing pretty decently. Offensively, they've got some issues. We all know about the quarterback issues, but I thought Davis Warren. I mean, even being a Buckeye fan, I have a lot of respect for that program. Even coming down the stretch in the last few games, they were playing well. You can see that they had something going on. Michigan, their style of play. I mean, Jim Harbaugh cracked the code, man. Like, he's a throwback, coach. He's gonna line them up with them big old linemen, and they're gonna push you around. They're gonna wear you down. Coming that fourth quarter, then it's a straight up, slugfest at that point. And so, but to see them here, I kind of felt going into this game that they had the advantage anyway. The fact that Alabama's not a good throwing team. Murrow's an excellent athlete, but again, he's not really. Consistent when it comes to throwing the ball. They got some good weapons, but I just felt that Michigan came out and did what I thought they would do, which is run the ball down Alabama's throat, make it a physical game. The weather played a part in the first half, but and Alabama made some pushes there, but man, and you really can't say that the defense, you know, was built on great players. Yeah, they had a lot of players go to the pros last year, but a lot of them young players that played this year play in this game here when they had what 5 draft picks out. Mason Graham was out, Kenneth Grant was out, Will Johnson's out. I mean, and they still, was dominant on the defense
Yeah,
side of the ball.
Josiah Stewart and all them, they were
Yeah,
out too. So
this is great momentum for them going into next season. They may, they're still going to struggle a little bit with far as because until your quarterback gets going into that system, especially your freshman coming in, who's going to
yeah,
compete with Jaden Davis, who was there last season. So, but I expect them to be, Michigan's going to be, a tough task in that Big Ten. They're building something there. Recruits are taking note. And honestly, even though us being Buckeye fans, we hate to lose like we've been losing, but
Hmm.
we had a good 20-year run. The good thing is now the rivalry is definitely back and it's alive and well for sure. So I think you're going to really see, especially if Ohio State can pull it off and win this year, to the last two back-to-back championships in the Big Ten, Michigan and Ohio State. If it happens, the level of rivalry just intensifies at this point. So you know, good win for Michigan, good win for the program. Way to close the season out. Definitely some momentum for them going to next season. That's for sure.
Hey, I totally agree. So before I give my take, I want to give Raven a chance to speak. What he think about the Michigan program? What he thought about the game. So go ahead, Raven. Your floor.
Yeah, go kid. But yeah, I agree with Woods on everything he said. I just want to add a couple of things. Not sure if y'all know who Mad Dog Russo is and
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp and ESPN, aka the FCC network. Where the motherfuckers at right now? You know what I mean? Where they at right now? Because the whole time they were talking, oh, if Indiana's in the SEC, oh, if blah blah blah's in the SEC, they would have 6 or 7 losses. Oh, the Big Ten doesn't compare to the SEC. Last time I checked, Michigan, they beat Alabama, the same team that everybody was dogging Ohio State for losing to, but everybody was saying Alabama should be in. I want to see them
Yeah.
same people. And then South Carolina is down 7-3 at the half. They can't move the ball against Illinois. That game has still got a whole half to go. But a lot of the talk about the Big Ten is trash and all these teams will struggle in the SEC. It needs to stop. The mythical matchups with the SEC, it needs to stop. Like we're watching what's unfolded, and both conferences are kind of top heavy. I think the Big Ten is a little bit more stronger. I think with Michigan, Alabama, we seen Michigan's backups on defense was able to stop Alabama. And Jalen Melrose he's a great player. I won't say great. He's a decent player, depending on who's calling the plays. But they had backups in, man, and these dudes couldn't do nothing. Like they couldn't do anything against a fourth, fifth place team in the Big Ten, or fourth, fifth place team in the Big Ten. So I think that the Michigan win to open a lot of eyes around the country to stop this talk of SEC first and everybody else a distant last, aka
You're right.
second. So I don't think that's the case anymore. I've seen the speed of the Michigan defense. We talked about going to the edge and then you can't go up the middle. Well, they didn't even have this starting D lineman. Alabama tried to get to the edge. They was getting popped. They were getting popped on the edge. They tried to get on the edge. And so Michigan's defense was just as fast as Alabama's offense. So that SEC speed, yeah, that's a wrap. You know what I mean? And so it goes to show that maybe these teams, I picked Penn State, possibly losing the boys. Now I don't know, man, because the way the Big Ten is looking, maybe the Big Ten was a superior conference. We don't know yet.
Before you go,
We're going to
Bowie
get
State,
those
Penn State,
games.
go Kent. Just hold on to that because John's gonna get to that one there. So hold your thoughts
Yeah,
on
no, that's what I'm saying.
Penn State.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying in general, like we're going to get to that, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying when you look at the Michigan win, now I start to have questions. And if Illinois beat South Carolina, yeah, we may have to talk about that one because it ain't what it used to be.
Hey, go King. So last week, me and Texas Buck was talking about Michigan. We both agreed that Michigan was only a quarterback away from being a playoff team this year, which I believe so. And honestly,
You got to believe it, specifically if Alabama was going to be the ones that people were saying it was the last team outside, the last one who was being considered over Clemson, or over who was it?
SMU,
Over SMU.
SMU.
It just showed here that Michigan was by far the better team with less players.
Yeah.
So all this false
Michigan.
narrative about Indiana should have been in, Indiana should have been, Alabama should have been in over them. That just got immediately just credit, as Go Kent mentioned, and like you mentioned, Jay Weezy. Bama that definitely for one should have been in. Michigan, is probably a better team than many people gave them credit for. And that Texas beating win over them now looms large, even though Michigan in the first game, it was the second game of the season. No, they're still trying to figure out who they got. They're a much better team now, especially on that defense, man. Like you said, they solid.
Yeah, that was early. And I would say, Jay Weezy, yeah, if Michigan had a quarterback, they're going back to the championship. They're going back to the playoffs. I mean, they won a title last year. Like people
Right.
forget it. They won a title last year.
I agree
And
100%.
so, and I mean, I don't know if your eyes see the same thing, but we talk about Ohio State. Alabama got Michigan problem too. You
Right.
ask me.
It's,
But
it's okay.
going
So does
back to
killing the boar.
Yeah. I think
I mean, if you look at it, the team
yeah,
that
I
has
mean, they had a
put
quarterback.
Ohio
I mean,
State played
that
Michigan the
defense
best the
is
last 2 years has been Ohio State. When Michigan's playing that play at their best, it's been Ohio State who's played them the best. You know, Michigan they beat them by 3 this year. Michigan Ohio State lost by 6 last year. Um, you know, Washington got beat by them, crushed. Alabama got bulldozed by them. Michigan,
right.
I mean, whatever they form their style play, I'm telling you that NFL line them up. We ain't doing none of that zone crap. We're gonna beat a man across from you. These big old linemen, you know, kind of Wisconsin, a little bit Barry Alvarez mixed in with some, you know, 1990 style, football style. Not really our formation, but
Right.
they can go shotgun, but power. You know, kind of like morphing Urban Meyer style play where he had quarterback run. Michigan's more run heavy with running backs. You got a load of them, man, and they're gonna just pound you and pound you.
Michigan.
You know,
Michigan has a 5-star all national quarterback on the way. So
Yeah.
if Wink
Number one ranked player in
Martindale
the
is still
country.
there, yeah, if Wink Martindale is still there when he gets there,
He's
good
already
Lord,
there.
is all
He's
I'm gonna
already
say.
taking place in practice.
well, the thing is too, like
Yeah,
we Martin. I mean, that Michigan, the way they had a bit of program up, it's built up to that, so that the players, the coaches can learn from the coaches that were there before. So Jim Harbaugh handed to Sharon Moore his style, and then it got handed off over to the Wink Martin. Those guys, he's going to hand his stuff down. So they're building it kind of like Urban Meyer's trying to do now. You know, the jury's still out on Ohio State, how they're building it down. I mean, I like to see Brian Hartline, get moved up. You know,
Right.
I do love what I see from the defensive side from the defensive coaches though. I love what I see from who's the D corner Jim Knowles. I love what I see from him.
Right. You
You
got
hope that's
him.
getting passed down. Yeah, so and hopefully you keep them coaches in play. But it just goes to show, man, coaching is important.
It is.
Coaching is
Man, you got
important,
to have
man.
development. I mean,
Yeah,
development is very important. Like, Wisconsin started when Barry Alvarez started back in 1990. You know what I'm saying? So for somebody that stayed in the state of Wisconsin for 6 years, I first seen it. You know how Barry built that program from the ground up. So he put that same style that you guys mentioned into good use for Wisconsin. I think football is going back to that type of style. You see it like Alabama won most of their national championship under Saban, running that same style.
yeah. I
Physical
mean,
up front.
you can win with the spread. It's just that you have to have. Michigan did some of it last year when you had McCarthy in the. He's not really under center.
Right.
He's going to the shotgun, but you want to have have it all powered out. A power run game. You want 2 tight ends. 10 personnel,
Yeah,
11
Georgia.
personnel. You know what I'm saying? You want to run that ball. No physicality. And they kind of shown that, man. Like they they style. Can definitely win games.
Right. I totally agree with both of y'all. I mean, both of y'all got good takes. I just like I think Michigan is on the rise again. I think this year was a lost year for them early on because they had an identity issue. They figured out who they were late in the year. They beat Northwestern
they
50 to
lost a lot of
6.
players, though. They lost
I
a
think
lot
it
of
was
players.
I think they was young. So I mean they lost a lot.
I mean, truth be told, man,
They
if you,
just won a,
I
they just
mean,
won a title.
facing their schedule they had with USC, Oregon, Ohio State, and being able to win, being able to have a winning record and win a bowl game and beat a top, a playoff, pretty much a playoff ranked team.
Right.
I consider that a success.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, like for somebody that's not a huge fan of Michigan, but I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. You know what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
we have a Michigan problem. Like, I mean,
I mean, I won't say it's a Michigan problem, man. Look, Jim Harbaugh lost to
Oh,
Ohio
you
State.
tripping. No. We got a
Let, let,
Michigan
let, let,
problem.
let me finish my
Don't
point,
do
though,
that.
kid. Let me
Don't
finish
come
my
up here
point.
on this
Let me
podcast
finish
and
my
do
point,
that.
and you can retort it. That's how this works. Let me say my point, and then you can retort it. I'm just saying that because we ain't the only team that's been having problems with them. When it comes to the big games, like we played them at the end of the year when they all, when we're at our best, they're at their best. The same way Alabama did last couple of years. Same with Washington and their coach. But the thing is, though, Michigan is not the same team that we faced back in them Tressel and Urban Meyer early years, man. Like Harbaugh also Ohio State 5 years in a row, and then he needed a COVID year, and then he started winning. So that's 6 seasons before he even had success against Ohio State.
Yeah.
And they've got way better players. They got better talent. And so I think for Ohio State, like the first two times, whatever. I mean, yeah, Michigan probably should win them games, but now it's the meat of the rivalry now, and it starts with the recruiting too, because now you got to fight with them recruits. But I think for Ohio State, I think Ryan Day, he kind of has that hardball pathway a little bit where he may lose 4 and get them back. But it's going to be a battle, though. Keep in mind, don't forget, Woody Hayes took some beat downs too once he started battling with Bo Schembechler first.
Yeah, that 10-year war.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah.
once now, because before it wasn't good on good when you had Tressel in Michigan or even Meyer in Michigan. It was
Early
not good on good. It's good on good now.
Yeah, let me go back to what you just said. Hey, give me a second. Give me a second, fellas. Hey, what Texas Buck said, I kind of disagree with the Jim Tressel. Just because towards the end of Jim Tressel era, Michigan was bad, but at the beginning of Jim Tressel's era, Michigan was good.
Yeah, but were they championship good?
Sure
I mean, they had one good year in 06.
They
won
was.
championship.
I think they were. Michigan was still beating up.
I don't.
Michigan was
Not
still
hard
beating up on the SEC in bowl games.
Can I say something, please?
Yeah.
So Ohio State absolutely has a Michigan problem. Anybody who tells you different is delusional. They've lost to Michigan 4 straight times. Every time Ohio State has had a better team than Michigan that they've lost to them. Michigan walked up into Ohio State this year. We've had the best team we've ever had, and they beat us in Ohio State again a 4th time in a year, the 4th straight time, to the point where they're talking about firing Ryan Day if he don't get a championship. That is the definition of a Michigan problem.
Hey, go
now will it be resolved? I don't. That's for us to find out. Who knows? But right now,
I don't think you fire Ryan Day now. We can't get away from the show, but I don't think you fire Ryan Day. That's another conversation for another day.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a separate segment on that. But I do not agree with you stating that Ohio State had a better team every single year. They did not have a better team every single year. Last year's Michigan team is better than Ohio State's team.
The last 4 years, Ohio State didn't have a better team?
No, Michigan had the better team last year.
Michigan had a better team last year and the year before. I agree, John.
2023, Michigan was better than Ohio State.
No,
they had a veteran team. They had the most veteran team in the country.
No,
they were not a better team. Keep in mind, but go King. Keep in mind,
they were not a more talented team than Ohio State.
I agree. They won it. They won the championship.
They won the championship.
They never for a championship.
No, those teams were more talented than Ohio State either.
Michigan had 15 players drafted last year. Hold
on.
Yeah.
Hold on. But
Ohio State team was better than Michigan. No, it wasn't.
You got to remember, a lot of Ohio State players came back.
No.
Ohio State
got the better team this year, yes.
Yeah, this year, yeah.
Ohio State had the best player in college football.
This year, yes. 2024, yes. 2023, no.
Yeah, I agree, John.
2022, yes. 2021, yes.
No.
Ohio State has had a more talented team than Michigan.
2021, Ohio State was young.
Yeah, the problem is that
Ohio State was super young. Ohio State was the youngest team in the country in 2021.
Right, and
I hear a lot of excuses.
No, I'm not making an excuse. I'm stating the facts.
Let me say a point here, guys.
Go ahead, Texas Buck.
Go Ken. Keep in mind that COVID year is a critical thing that people forget about, because that players didn't just get an extra year. If you had a red shirt, you basically got extra 2 years. Michigan and Washington had the 2 oldest teams in the last 2 to 3 years. Everybody knows that. So you got 25, 26, 25-year-old, not 26, but 25-year-old kids going against 18, 19-year-old kids. So that has to play some kind of advantage. And again, we're going to talk about that JC rule, in the next couple of weeks, where that's the issue you have. If you got these, look at Washington last year. Michael Penix was in the college for like 8 years, man. So of course he's going to be, play great at Washington, when they go against, Michigan. But There's no fluke that Washington and Michigan were the two teams that made it to the championship game, and they were also the two most experienced teams. And in college football, that experience matters. Experience matters in the NFL. So it's gonna matter in college. So
Mhm.
that's my take. But I mean, I see everybody's point. But again, let's not get off the subject of why we even here. We don't want
Right.
we are Ohio State. We don't want to give all our love to Michigan right now.
Right.
So let's go ahead and get to the meat of this thing.
All right. So now we're about to get ready and go to the four playoff games that's going on starting tonight. We have number 6 Penn State versus number 3 Boise State. I don't think I'm going based on
I'm
playoff
gonna let
seeding.
Kent go first in this one, Jay Weezy, because he did one saying that Boise State gonna win the whole thing in the shootout, or the whole thing. So does he
So
is he staying with that pick, or has he changed his mind? Go
it's
Kent,
your
the floor
floor.
is
Go
yours.
Kent.
Well, they're going to find out why they called me Go Kent today. Boise State will beat Penn State tonight. It will beat Penn State tonight. I will be rooting for Penn State because I'm a Big Ten fan. I'm a Big Ten guy. I don't want to be the one to say it, but Boise State is going to absolutely beat Penn State. Ashton Gianti going to be running all over the place. I'm telling you, they ain't going to be able to stop the boy. He's going to be all over. So I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. You're going to understand why they call me Go Kent. Ashton Gianti will run all over Penn State's defense. Penn State will get caught in play action, try to stop GMT. Them blue jerseys will be running to the end zone all night. I'm not talking about Penn State's blue jerseys. I'm talking about the blue and orange. Boise State is going to beat Penn State tonight. By halftime, they're going to be talking about, oh, Dak, Miguel was right. Go Kid was right. Like, just wait for it. But I'm rooting for Penn State. Don't get me wrong. Big Ten is looking strong. So I want them to win it. But we're gonna see what happens. I got Boise State in this one. I really do, man.
What's your
I'm
prediction? What's
sorry
the
to let y'all
What's,
score?
know,
what's your
but
prediction? Go ahead and write this down,
I
Jay
don't.
Weezy.
I'm predicting James Franklin doesn't get it done again. I
No,
just
you
don't
got you
trust
got
him,
to give a
man.
score.
That's why
Just so you know, just so you
we're
know.
gonna do a score. Okay. Well,
Before you do a
I'm gonna
score
go
though,
with the line. I'm gonna
hold
say
tight though. Before you do a score, just so you know, the line is Penn State by 12, bro. So if
I know it
Boise
is,
State win this game, that's a big upset. That's a major upset.
and I'm taking it. Go Kent. So Boise State is going to beat them. Boise State is going to beat them. First of all, Ashton Gianti is going to be pissed off because he feels he's the best player in college football, and they gave the Heisman to somebody else, which is, Travis Hunter. We don't want to go there, but he got his, he deserved it. Ashton Gianti, he's coming with an attitude, a chip on his shoulder. Boise State is going to play like it. And Penn State is, although they're, a top tier team, they're cut below the rest of the teams to me. They're not Ohio
I
State.
don't know
They're
about
not
that, man.
Oregon.
Go ahead.
They're not Notre Dame. I'm talking, please, thank you. They're not Notre Dame. I'm talking about in big.
Hey,
I'm talking about in big games. James Franklin comes up small, and he will do it again tonight.
what's your score?
I got Boise State. Oh boy, give me Boise State 27-21. Boise State.
I like. Hey, that's a good prediction. I think it's gonna be a good game, but I'll give my take. I'm gonna let Captain Texas Buck take over. You know, tell me what's your take?
Well, the first thing issue I got is that I mean, look, I will say this: Ashton Jeanty is an excellent player. He's not really a big dude, but at 5'9", 215, he has pretty good size. It's kind of hard to see behind that good old line. Um, I mean, the dude has had an excellent season, but I just have to give some kind of notion, to when I look at his game logs, man. I see UNLV, I see Oregon State, I see Wyoming, San Jose State, San Diego State, Hawaii, Nevada, Washington State. Like, I mean, and then there's one team here, Portland State. They play Portland State, man. Like, I can't. I mean, it just something in me, man. When I see these backs from like, the dude Dylan Sampson from Tennessee, when I see Katron Allen and these cats from Penn State, when I see Judkins and Henderson, when I see the boys at Michigan, the Blues of Texas, in the competition they're playing against, you know, I imagine they probably had similar stats when they go against Portland State, they go against the University of Utah State Aggies or the Hawaii Rainbows or San Diego State. I'm just saying, man, and
I
like
gotta.
look, and Genty had, I mean, the first he had one. I mean, he's done what he's supposed to do. He did have a good game against Oregon. He went from 192 on 7.7 yards per rush. That's serious. On 25 carries. The only issue I have is, man, he's had a lot of carries. He's had 344 totes this year. Um, but he has gotten it done against the Quites, the one team he did play that was good. He even dropped for against Georgia Southern. He went for 267 against Georgia Southern, the powerhouse that they are. However, he did struggle against UNLV the first game, his first matchup against them when he went for 128 on 33 carries at 3.9 yards per carry. This Penn State team he's going against is not. I don't know. I know Go Kent. Similar to Ryan Day, talks about James Franklin and his failures. But James Franklin only loses to two teams every year, and he ain't losing to no chumps. It's Michigan and Ohio State. They lost to Oregon, and let me remind you what happened in the Oregon game if you don't remember. Um, they ran for almost 350 something yards against Oregon's vaunted defense, and we're gonna talk about them later on. But Penn State, may struggle with Genty some if you think so. I don't think they will. I think that they'll load the box up and make the quarterback beat them, make Maddox beat them. But they're gonna run all over Boise State, man. It's a whole nother class of athlete. Penn State has got a good team. This is not like the past Penn State teams, man. This is actually a pretty decent Penn State team, and I don't see how they are able to stop. I mean, how Boise State's gonna be able to stop them. Um, I'm looking at it now. Penn State is also like most of their teams in the playoff up there with Ohio State, Texas, Notre Dame. They're in the top 10 defense. You know, Bama's in there too, along with Tennessee. We see what happened to them, but I'm just saying I don't think Boise State has. I don't think that Boise State has that kind of like the offensive line like that, like Michigan has or Texas has that can line up and push Penn State around. I mean, I don't see that happening, but it's gonna be a tall task. Even if Genty were to go for 200 plus, you're gonna need some play action. You got complete passes still.
Right.
Penn State is a very good defense, man. I mean, they don't give up much on the ground or through the air. So
So
I just think that I got Penn State in the blowout. I think Penn State beats the snot out of Boise State. I'm taking Penn State 35-10. Maybe 16 the most, but they will cover the spread. 35, 16. It's a beatdown coming out there, and where they at? They in Tempe. They in Tempe, ain't they?
they're in Tempe.
Yeah, it's gonna be a beatdown in Tempe. Penn State. This is one of the easiest games to pick. I don't know what Go Kent talking about, but this is one of the easiest. After I seen, I mean, look, Genty, I mean, he may be one of the dogs, man. He may come out tonight and give him some NFL money. If he come out tonight, he can run against put up 200 yards against Penn State, or, on 20 something carries like he did against Oregon, 25, 192. Okay, and keep in mind he's also a pretty good player out the backfield. So I mean,
Yeah.
he's solid, but
I'm
I mean,
telling
I
you,
think
man.
Penn
I'm
State is
telling
for
you.
real, bro. I mean, they should have beat Oregon. To be honest with you, they are for real. Big Ten is not no joke right now, man. I think Boise State is in trouble, and we gonna find out in about another hour, couple hours here. You
Yeah.
know,
My take. I'm gonna give my take on this game. Um. So Boise State got a good team. I mean, I respect them as a program, but it's a totally different
They've
animal
been
they're
in these
going against
situations
tonight,
before.
man. I just think I just think Penn State. I think Penn State, they're a really good team. But Boise State, their weakness is stopping the pass. They giving up 250 yards passing per game. That's something that, you know, Drew Aller can explore. But I feel like Penn State need to be able to throw the ball in this
and,
game.
and keep in mind, Drew Aller is one. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the country too. Like
He
people
is.
sleep on him.
He
He is.
is.
It comes to the inside.
And I think they
Obviously,
got the best.
Will Howard's good outside the hash, whereas Drew Howard is good with inside the hash. You
Right.
know,
and he got the best tight end in the country as well. So I mean,
Facts.
they will exploit Boise State tonight. I think Penn State's offense and defensive lines will control the game. I picked Penn State. I'm sticking with that prediction, but I do not think they will cover. The line is 12. I don't think they'll cover. I think I think Penn State will control the game though. I feel like they'll win 27-17.
That's fair. I mean, it is James Franklin. I mean, so
It's
that's accurate.
27-17. I think James Franklin is fine as long as he's not playing Ohio State or Michigan.
Yeah, but
So
I don't.
even against the SMU, man, sometimes man he be questionable. You
yeah,
know,
but I mean, he really didn't have to do too much because the defense played lights out against SMU. So he really didn't have to do anything. They
yeah.
could they controlled SMU. They kept them at bay. So that's
Yeah,
how.
but Boise State can keep them off balance because they got a dude. You know what I
But
mean? It ain't just a
Boise,
bunch of scrubs out there.
Boise
They got a
State
dude
cannot
that can break
attack down
away.
the field. Boise State,
We don't
like
know that. We don't know
SMU, they
that.
No, we, we,
cannot.
we, we do know that. I mean, you Miguel.
No, we
You
don't know
can't.
that.
Sorry,
If Penn
look,
State's PMing
UNLV.
on Ashton GMC, they may have something cooked up. You know what I mean? You better be careful. I'm telling you. Y'all better be careful. Like, I'm
I
telling you,
don't
if
think they.
James
I
Franklin
don't
is
think
your
they.
dude,
Hey, Boise State
I'm
lucky I
telling you.
didn't pick them to get blown out. I picked them to cover at least because I don't. I think Penn State's a good team. I think people sleeping on them. I mean, they lost. They
I,
lost two
I, I
games.
think Penn
They
State's a
lost
good
to the number
team. I
one
just
and
don't
number
think
six
James
team in the
Franklin's a
country
good
this
big game
year.
coach.
They lost to the number
Yeah,
one,
but,
number
but
Penn
two
he can't.
State's a
team.
good Penn State. Penn
he
State
are
is a
not
good
much
team
more
every
approachable.
year.
He ain't not the worst coach, man. He wins the games he should win. He just doesn't win big games. You know
This,
what I mean? So, but he
this
wins
is
the
a
games he
big
should
Hey,
game.
win.
but
This is a big
he
game.
beat teams like this. He
Yeah,
beat Boise
I
State,
don't see
Western
James Franklin. I
Michigan.
just can't
He
picture
beat those
James
type of
Franklin in the
teams.
he
Final
did
Four.
beat SMU. I mean,
Right.
SMU
He beat
came in
those
here.
type of teams.
Yeah, I mean, he beat SMU,
Boise
and
State is not a big time program. They're a good team.
SMU. Well, first of all, that game was at Penn State at night. That's first.
It was
Second
not a
of
night
all,
game.
Boise.
See, now, now,
Well,
now
it was close
you're
enough. It was
lying.
close
You're
enough.
not
When they finished the
at
game,
least get
when
that
they
part
finished the
right. It was
game,
a
it was
noon
getting dark.
game.
When they finished the game, it was getting dark.
It was
Going
not
back
dude.
to
It was 3 o'clock when they got done.
nah, man,
Oh my
nah, it was dark.
God.
It was dark.
Hey
I live on
man.
the East Coast. You live in the Midwest. Going
No,
back to
I
what I
stay
was
on the East
saying.
Coast.
I'm done. I'm done about it. I'm done talking about it. Going back to what I'm saying. Southern Miss, SMU. This is the first time they've been anywhere since they got the death penalty. I'm not even talking about them. I'm talking about
Boise State.
Boise State.
Boise State haven't been relevant
Boise
since
State.
Kellen
I mean, let me
Moreland.
finish. Let me finish. Didn't Boise State beat Oklahoma one time
Oh
with the
my God, this
statute?
dude talking about
Boise
20
State
years
beat in
ago,
these
man.
games. I'm not done. I'm not done though. My
Hey,
whole point
it was
is
my
Boise
floor.
State.
You took
Hey,
over
Can I finish
me.
my point? Can I finish my point? Boise State has
I ain't gonna
been
take
here
over my
before.
floor.
No, because you ain't doing it right. That's why I'm taking over the floor. You disappoint me
Oh
and
my,
you embarrassing
this
us on the
guy.
podcast. Boise State has been to these games before. This is not new to them. They've been here. They
yeah.
played in big games against big name opponents. They beat Oklahoma. They played these kind of games, dude. So what
2000.
I'm
I
saying
mean,
is,
and
I'm not
I agree
saying
with you on
Penn
that,
State.
but again, I mean,
I'm
look at
not,
the
I'm
It's
not
a
schedule though.
different
saying Penn
generation,
State
though.
isn't a. I'm not saying Penn State isn't a more talented team. I'm not undercutting Penn State. I'm talking specifically about James Franklin. That's what I'm talking about. I don't trust him.
Well,
I don't
we
trust
gonna
him.
find
And I'm
tonight.
telling
I
you
mean,
right
look,
now, out of
I,
anybody in here who could get beat, anybody out here who get upset, it ain't Marcus Freeman. It ain't Ryan Day.
Hey man, you
I
sound
can tell you
like
that. But
y'all
James
might
Franklin can get beat.
y'all might get a crack out of this one, man. He sound like one of those the SEC fans from down south on the farm
Nah,
bomb show,
I am
man.
SEC fan. No. Don't, let's not go that far.
hey, but I will say though, I mean, Boise State is second in the country in sacks at 51.
Yeah.
But third in sacks was
Y'all
SMU.
better,
I don't think SMU even got a sack against Penn State. So again, I just think that Penn State has bigger. I mean, they recruited. They've been top 15 recruits the last what top 10 recruiting the last what 7 since Franklin's been there. He's an excellent recruiter. It's gonna be hard to beat them, man. That's a big physical team that took Oregon to task. Now, I mean, you're gonna need a
neutral site.
huge game from Genty and Maddox to win this one. I mean, I'm interested to see what happens. We'll know the first quarter though, because Genty, he can play the whole game. He ain't gonna really wear out. But now you ain't getting hit by guys from Hawaii. You ain't getting hit by guys from San Jose State or Portland State.
Yeah.
This is Big Ten boys hitting you every play, and that's got to wear you
But
down.
but Texas Buck, let me ask you this: when you got a running back that's that good, you shorten the game, you shorten the possessions, you can control the ball. And if Penn State is caught off balance, they may not be in position to stop the play action and stuff like that. And so
Yeah, but you
this
going,
is
yeah,
what I'm getting at. This is
but you can't. You got to be who you throwing to though. Like I get you saying. I mean, yeah, I'm on Boise State. You're looking to shorten the game. You want to run the ball first, second down, get in third and shorts. You can't get in third and longs. But who you throwing to? You throwing to a tight end, to a receiver. I mean, Penn State, they're going to dial it up on the first. They're going to load that box
they
up
was
and
well,
they're going to load the
they
box
threw
and
to somebody because they got
make
here.
Boise beat them. You're going to see eight or nine,
They was
eight
able
or
to throw
nine
to
in that
somebody
box.
because they got here. I
You might see
mean,
cover zero in that box, cover zero, basically, and they're gonna say beat us
Yeah.
with the pass. We want your athletes to beat our athletes on the outside. We want to see it. I guarantee you, if I'm the coach, that's the game plan I got for them
yeah,
for
Hey,
Boise
Boise
State.
State don't have the
but
receivers that Oregon has. So that's my thing. I think I agree with Texas Buck on this part. If
but
I'm
Texas Buck,
if I'm Penn
that's a
State, I
great
would
game
stack the
plan.
box and
That's
force
a great game plan if
Madison
you were
or
coaching, but you ain't
force Madison to
coaching. James
beat.
Franklin is. I'm just being honest, man. That's an excellent
Jay
game
Franklin,
plan. Like I would hire you today, but you
he
ain't the
gonna have
one
five in
coaching, my
coverage.
brother. James Franklin is coaching. So like I
He
said,
gonna be a dime
Boise
coverage. He gonna
State,
have five in coverage.
yo,
It's
I'm
DBs out
telling you,
there.
man.
James
Y'all
Franklin.
just watch.
All right, so Miguel, go Ken? Did you give us your actual score prediction?
No, he gave it.
Yes,
He
I
gave it.
got Boise. I got Boise State 27, 21. I would put them by a little bit more, but I think because of the ball control, they will spare Penn State from blowing them out, and they will. It'll be a closer game because of the ball control. It'll come down to a fourth quarter, maybe 24-21 sort of thing, and then Boise State gets another field goal. Penn State has a chance to come down and score, and in typical James Franklin fashion, they will, and that will be the end of the game.
Hey man. Hey,
Yeah, he did beat Urban one game, so don't
he
forget
did
that.
off a block kick. So
All
hey,
right.
that was the biggest mismatch I ever seen, and Ohio State lost it. They dominated every statistical category and still lost.
Mm.
So it can be done. Penn State can dominate the game, and Boise State can win. So I mean, I've seen it before. So it's
Yeah,
football.
well, if they're able to pull you into a whiteout in Pennsylvania, this ain't that. Let's keep that in mind too. 'Cause that's when they win their games, So keep that in mind moving forward. Next,
All right, so we're gonna go. We're gonna get off this game here. We all made our prediction. So the second game is Arizona State versus Texas. So
oh
we're gonna start
Lord,
with Texas Buck, since you're the hometown Texan. So let's start with you, sir.
I mean, if I'm gonna pick upset, this would be where the upset would be at because
this dude has lost his
Texas,
mind.
man, similar to Ohio State, sometimes you don't know what you're gonna get. Is E again? The question is gonna be Ewers. Now they look great against Clemson. I mean, Clemson had they could not get any pressure. They couldn't get no stops. And I doubt that Arizona State's gonna be able to get some stops either. But Texas was giving up some big plays, man. They struggled a little bit on each side of the ball. Um, I just think that Arizona State. I mean, they can attack a little bit. They're not a great defensive team, even though they are top 25. Looks like defensively, maybe top 30. So they're not bad. They're giving up 219 in the air, and they're giving up only 117 on the ground. So they're not really a bad team when it comes to defense. They're actually pretty decent. So I mean, it just depends on. To me, Arizona State without the top receiver playing in this game, man. How much can you get? Similar to how Go Kent mentioned about Boise State. How much can you put on Cam Scottaboo to carry them? to a win, because that's what's got to happen. Now, the coach at Arizona State is a really good coach. Dillingham's pretty, I want to say he's from that Kirby Smart. And he from that Kirby Smart?
No, he's from Dan Lanning. Oh, you talking about who?
Dillingham.
Yeah, he's from Oregon. So he's underneath um Oregon's coach.
Yeah, so I mean, truth be told, I mean,
But yeah,
they had some injuries early on. They might have been undefeated, but they really hadn't played a great. I mean, the best team they really played, they didn't play. It was Kansas BYU. They beat BYU. BYU's a pretty good team, physical team. If they're gonna beat Texas, it's got to be in that style of play. Um, it's got to be similar to, um, you know, how they beat BYU. They had the ability to score points a lot. They also beat Iowa State down too, who was ranked top listed to be top 16 at a time. Um, so they had the ability to score a lot of points on you, but they also control the game. But it's got to be about Scatterboo for them. If they're able to control the clock, play their style play, then they can win this game. But it's just going to be a tall task without Jordan Tyson being there, because Tyson is what takes the top off for that defense.
yeah.
Um, and he may, I mean, it's kind of been mum on him playing, but I don't see him playing in this game. I think he's still going to be out. Uh, and that really sucks for Arizona State. I mean, this is a guy that has over 15 yards per reception and over 1,000 yards receiving, 10 TDs. But again, you got Scottaboo, who's got 15 or almost 1,600 yards rushing. Six points, 6 yards per carry, about the same size as a little taller, 5'11", 215. He's got some wheels on him. He's got some toughness to him. I mean, he's got some Christian McCaffrey in him, man. I think to me, if if one player's going to affect the game, he could do it more so against Texas than Genty can against Penn State. Um, so I'm going to call the upset here. I'm going to call Arizona State beating Texas 24-20. I think that Arizona State, they've been hot, man. I mean, they're coming in what, 6 in a row, something like that.
Yeah, they've been, and it ain't like they've been beating teams slowly. They've been blown outside of the BYU. They've been blowing teams out.
Yeah,
So,
and look here, the QB, Sam Levitt is got some dog in him, man. And this is a freshman too, by the way. 24 touchdowns, 5 picks. He a freshman. So I mean, they got some stuff, man. They style play. I mean, I just wish Jordan Tyson was playing this game, but they style
right.
play, man. I think they could beat Texas, man. That's why and I like Scatterboo. I like Scatterboo more than like Jenny. So like I said, I got Arizona State in the upset, 24-20. You heard it here first. Texas Bucks holding it down. I'm gonna pour a little bit out for Texas too. I'm gonna look at it again. I'm gonna pour it out. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna drink it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Go,
Cheers to
go,
ASU.
Ted. The man, the
Yes,
legend
sir.
himself. Give me your take, sir.
That's me. Well, that was a pretty lengthy take by Texas Buck. Kind of reminds me of a preacher back in the day who just, he preached all day. Lord knows, so you'd be in the back pew, you'd be knocked out. All that just to say Arizona State was going to win is ridiculous. Texas win this game. It won't be close. Texas is just too good on both sides of the ball. I don't need to get too deep in this one. Texas is a better team. Both sides of the ball, pretty much all three phases. This one, I think is going to be the least closest of any of the games. Good catch. Illinois is getting ready to score against South Carolina. But Texas is the I mean, this is the least of all the games. I don't think this is going to be close. This is not a long take for me. Arizona State is going home. Great year, great way to kind of build the program after the destruction by Herm Edwards, that he, put in that place. Really sorry they had to go through that. But They've come back strong. They competed this year. They competed well. They did good to get a bye, all that. But now they're about to go bye-bye. And it won't even be close. Touchdown, Illinois. Next.
What's your score?
It won't be close. I mean, about 35-14, maybe 42-17, something like that. It's not going to be close.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, I do like that prediction from Goat Kent. I just think Texas, man, like how we mentioned, you don't know what version of Ohio State we're going to get. I feel the same way about Texas. I think the quarterback position, there's Quinn Ewers is so inconsistent. If you get pressure, if I'm the defensive coordinator for Arizona State, I'll blitz him. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I'll blitz him because he can't move. He can't move. So keep him in the pocket. He can't move. He's not good at reading defenses. You see what he did against Georgia. I think, hey, I might. Honestly, I'm just gonna go with. I agree with Texas Buck, man. I think this might be an upset. I think, but if I'm ASU, I will attack with the pass, and then late attack. Then after they come up, play action off of that, and then Cam Scatterboo. I think he's the most underrated running back in the country. He gets no love at all. So, I mean, my score prediction, I go with upset. I'll go 21-17 ASU.
You would say you agree with Go Kent score. Now you changed your mind.
Nah, I can't.
Right. I heard the same thing. Either you in or you out. Make a choice.
I'm out, man. I'm out. I gotta go with ASU, man. I just think Texas is so inconsistent. You just don't know what version you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? So
you guys are crazy. Do you watch college football? Like, my
Lord. Texas is inconsistent.
One of the worst predictions I've ever seen. I don't understand. Like,
hey, Texas is inconsistent.
I mean, it is New Year's Eve. I mean, you can tell us it's okay. I don't think you're gonna get in trouble. You know, I mean, my God.
Who have Texas
Arizona State beating Texas? Have you lost your mind?
They've been inconsistent, bro.
Dude, did you see what they did to Clemson? There was nothing inconsistent about that.
That's Clemson.
There was nothing inconsistent about that, man.
Bro.
They beat the brakes off of them dudes, man. Like, it's not even close.
Running back.
All right, man. Let's keep it moving there. We're going to find out. We're going to find out in T-minus 24 hours. We're going to find out.
What have you been watching? Hey.
Stop listening to the Texas Buck so much, man. Like, he got you all messed up, like, in the head. Like, it's crazy. My goodness.
Hey, man.
All right, let's get to the next game.
We got a couple other games.
I ain't trying to hear this blasphemy from Go King.
We got a couple other games to go over. So we got our predictions out of the way on that one. So we're going to go to the next game. I think this is the best game of the playoffs up to this point. We have number 8 Ohio State versus number 1 Oregon. I think this is the best. This might be the game of the year so far up to this point. I'm going to go ahead and let Goat Kent start with this one.
Yeah, so I believe this is a championship game. I think whichever team wins this game will win the title. Because if you go moving forward from here, you're not going to face a team as good as the team you just beat. So you're already playing at a high level, and you beat a team as talented as Ohio State or as talented as Oregon. You are pretty much going to probably have no problems with whatever's left. I mean, give or take Notre Dame, blah, 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 blah. But getting back to the point, I did pick Oregon to win this game, and I'm changing my prediction. The Ohio State team that I've seen against Tennessee, I don't think anybody can beat them. Like, if they play like that on both sides of the ball, they're going to roll in this game. And everybody's saying it's going to be a good game. It's absolutely not going to be a good game. If Ohio State plays like they played in that game against Tennessee on both sides of the ball, where the defense was as sharp as it was, they played angry, they were getting to the quarterback, making play, and then the offense was just calling plays. They opened it up. They was getting the ball downfield. There was no answers for Jeremiah. This is not going to be as close as people think to me. I think Ohio State wins this by 10 or more points, maybe 2 touchdowns, if they play at that level. But like you guys said, you never know what you're going to get with Ohio State. So I'm going to change my pick and say Ohio State wins because I just think they have too much momentum. Like they're coming in. Oregon has been, sitting for a couple weeks. Ohio State is hot right now. They're coming in hot, first possession type hot. And so I got Ohio State winning this one on a neutral field. I'm going to say 42-28.
Hey, I like that prediction. So man, it's going to be a game, that's for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Texas Buck take the floor on his prediction.
Yeah, so this one here, this is a tough one. I mean, I think as Go Kim alluded to, this is probably outside. I mean, these two teams had a great matchup last time they played. You can arguably was probably the game of the year. 1 point loss for Ohio State in Eugene back in I think it was October. Um, but you had some changes though. I mean, Oregon didn't have their best defensive lineman Jordan Birch. You also had Trayshawn Holden who got ejected from the game early on. Ohio State did have Josh Simmons early on. They had Seth McLaughlin, and they don't have them two guys now. So um, in this case here, this is going to be interesting because when I look at Oregon, definitely the key to beating them is definitely being to run the ball. I mean, you look at Penn State. Last time we seen Oregon, they gave up 297 yards rushing to Penn State, 8.7 yards per carry. Where both Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton went over 100 yards rushing, and both of them were over 8 yards per carry.
Really quickly.
Even Drew Hours over 10 yards per carry. So Ohio and honestly, I think Ohio State's offensive line now is better than Penn State's starting offensive line. So I very much want to see what team are we going to see from Ohio State. They're like the Jekyll and Hyde of college football. One week you may get, like we said against Nebraska, and then we'll see what we had against Oregon early on. We played well. Then you see what you had against Tennessee. You played well. Then you had what you had against Michigan. If Ohio State comes out and plays to the strength of their team, there's nobody beating this team. I mean, that's just facts. They're one of the best teams I've ever seen. If they're playing at their highest level, and let's put into words how good Tennessee was. They beat one of the top three defense in the country and just shredded them. So in this game here, they're going to score points like they did the first time. They're going to score points on Oregon. Um, I don't necessarily think that beating Oregon, downfield is the best route to go. I think Chip Kelly last time, he went to the receivers early on, but I think if OSU is able to run the ball in this game early on, this is going to be a blowout. Um, I want to see how Oregon is how they play defensively when it comes to putting pressure and how State struggle with pass protection in this game. Now, keep in mind the first matchup, Ohio State only had 12 yards rushing in the second half. So if Penn State was able to run the ball down Oregon's throat, Ohio State should be able to do that. But you also got to get these receivers, make them the main focus on the game, attack. Throw the ball to Jeremiah Smith as much as you can, attack them because they're going to be attacking us. The next thing is it's going to be on the defense side of the ball. Will Ohio State's defense be much more creative than they were the first time around when they stood in pretty much one high safety and just rush forward. You got to find a way to get pressure on Dylan Gabriel. He had his best game against Ohio State. So you can't leave Igmit Nosen and Denzel Burke on 1-on-1 so that Ted Johnson can get his speed and just beat him down the field. That shouldn't happen. If Gabriel's gonna make them plays like that, you want to make them plays scrambling. So I'm interested to see how Ohio State does when it comes to getting to the quarterback. You hope you can get pressure at 4, but probably not because Oregon has two great tackles who are solid. And honestly, JT and Sawyer's worst game was against Oregon, where they graded out lower than average against that. They were basically non-existent. They cannot be non-existent this game. They have to get pressure on Oregon. They also got to stop the run. Um, so, but I kind of see this one here as Ohio State winning this one. Like, it's going to be a high scoring game again, but I've got Ohio State in 38-28. Oregon had some advantages last time. They had the onside kick. They had the fumble by Junkins. They had the pass interference that went against us. Also, the Will Howard sliding and not managing time. We could have kicked the winning field goal. I mean, but they still won that game. So for them, they're going to be they're going to be motivated to come out and show that, hey, look, you know what, the first time wasn't a fluke. For Ohio State, they're going to be motivated to come out and show, hey, you know what, we should have won the first game. We're the big dog here. This is our conference. This is a heavyweight matchup. This is Tyson and Holyfield. This is the Thriller of Manila. Muhammad Ali. Um, Joe Frazier. It's that kind of game here, and I agree with Go Kent. The winner of this game has probably got the inside track to win the championship. There's no team that's any threat outside what they're going to be facing on tomorrow afternoon.
Hey, I agree with both of you guys. Y'all got solid takes. Um, I feel like that. I feel like that Ohio State will win this game just because I feel like they're the more superior team. Um, I think if we get the Ohio State that played against Tennessee, no team
Won't
in
be
the country
close.
is coming within 14 points now. So, and I feel like that we are going to get the Ohio State team that played against Tennessee. I just feel that way just because, again, people Ryan Omar. Oh, you get to play the best team in the country. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're gonna lose again. Oh, you know what? Tez Johnson. Oh, we're gonna attack Eben Nosen. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like
I mean,
that. I
it's
think
going to
Ohio,
be a test match, man. This is going to be a great game. It's a lot of pros in this field. I mean,
it
look,
is.
I respect Oregon, man. I mean, I respect Dan Lanning, Tess Johnson, Evan Stewart. I mean, outside of us, they're up there. They're up there with us with receiving core. There's
Yeah,
it's
I get them a distance.
their their image.
Yeah, their mirror image. But I just feel like like Goat Kent said earlier. I mean,
But Jay Weezy, let me ask you this question here, and and I also posed it to Go Kent.
all right,
How do we feel about his offensive line? Was it a fluke of what we seen? I mean, they were okay running the ball against Tennessee. You can tell they try to get out on the edges. They're
yeah,
trying to use a lot of misdirection. But that's what Oregon does that though. They do that every day in practice. They see a misdirection all the time. They're like
right.
us. No, now can we find success running the ball? We want to run that ball at some
I
point.
think we
And
can, but it has to be different. You know what I'm saying? Like how we did against Tennessee, we threw to open up the run, and we're gonna have to do the same thing in this game as well. I feel like our 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 receivers on their DBs is probably the biggest mismatch of the game.
yeah, but
And
they got
not
good
the
DBs
same
though.
thing.
They're not sorry out there. They're
Not
decent.
they're not. I just think because Ohio State, their three receivers are all pros. So, and then you got the best one in the country, and number four. Number four is him, and
You gotta
so
show
that's.
up. He been talking. He going to show up to improve it.
And I think he will, man.
Exactly.
I mean, the dude's a
I'm
big.
going to,
Me,
well,
I think he's. Hey, y'all might not agree with me on this, but I think honestly he's better than Marv. He's better than Marv.
let's calm, let's relax a little bit here.
Hey, that's just me.
That, I'm not going to say that just yet, but he is a talented pass catcher. But there's a different type of receivers. There's different types. Now he does have the speed. He does have hands, but Marvin can get open against anything. And he had, he didn't always have the best quarterback throwing to him. And when he did, he
Right.
was unstoppable. We seen what he did to Georgia before they had to knock
I
him
know
out the
McCallum
game.
Ford out here
Like
saying records, and so is
he was
Stroud.
just
I'm just saying that.
abusing them. And
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I like Jeremiah, the singer, the receiver. I like them all. But what I'm saying, even the Bible book. But what I'm saying is this game right now, I think Ohio State is going to have to run the ball effectively. But I agree with Jay. I think they're going to have to throw first, run second. Because if you show you can do both, you'll keep them off balance. They know Ohio State is going to try to run. They're probably going to try to use some of Penn State's game plan. You got to open them holes up, and Ohio
Right.
State can do that.
Now, I tell you what though, there should be a lot of Will Howard call running from this game too.
Yeah, like they did. You
No, but
seen
what
a
I'm
little bit
saying
against
is get them
Tennessee.
to change. Hold on, let me finish. Get them to change their formations up. Like if they're sitting there with two linebackers, right there, spying the backfield, blah, 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 coming up. Okay, keep coming up. Because then what we're going to do is we're going to run a slant right across that middle where we like to run. You got your receivers right there, Ibuka, Jeremiah Smith. Those guys can come across the middle. That's there. Will Howard makes good decisions. It will be there. And kind of get, Oregon off balance a little bit. But see, the thing about Ohio State's offense against Oregon, Ohio State's offense didn't struggle against Oregon. They scored almost every time, just like Oregon's offense. So that wasn't the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is stopping Oregon. And that's going to be the big question. Can they stop Oregon?
No. Like, this is my take. I agree with you on that to a certainty. I think Oregon's game, what Ohio State should do is want Oregon to move 10, 12, 13 plays, because last game, if we pay attention, most of Oregon's yards came on them big plays. So I think Jim Knowles will change that defense.
He's got to get pressure on Dylan Gabriel. There's got to be some blitz packages, man. You can't let the dude just sit back there.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I totally agree with that. You can't have him just back there and just pick us apart.
Right.
You can't. You want to go and get them. I mean, if you want this win, you guys go get it, because they undefeated for a reason. And they remind me of Ohio State in 02. They win, and you cannot underestimate a winner, man. I mean, they
Right.
win. So now what you got is you got a movable object against what do they say, unstoppable force.
Yeah.
You got two big dogs coming in and play, and they have already beaten us before. They beaten us. Now it was at their place, but they're gonna feel confident they can do it again, and we're gonna feel like, what, we should have won that game. So I mean, and look, there are mismatches for both teams in this game, man. Like, we know
It
Ted
is.
Johnson's a problem for Ohio
I
State.
think Evan Stewart's the problem in
Jeremiah
my
Smith,
book. He's the one
yeah,
that could.
every time it was a problem too. You got Jeremiah Smith, I mean, can you out physical them dudes? I rather let Trey Sean Holden beat us, not Ted Johnson, not Evan
Right.
Stewart. But they also got Jordan James back there, who's got 1,200 yards rushing, 1,300 yards, almost 1,300 yards rushing. So it's definitely a heavyweight bout. It ain't no this ain't for the weak right here.
But I think in my book, going back to what Goat Kent said, I think roster wise, I think if Ryan Day coaches like he's on cocaine with Adderall, it was actually saying, man, hey, if he coaches, if you get that version of Ryan Day coaching, Oregon will get blown out. They will get blown out because now he's clicking on every play is clicking.
And they beat us the last two times too. I think Ryan Day, he wants to go and
Yeah,
show
he's
something.
0-2 against Oregon.
Yeah, so go, like, no, come on, man, like, go get this one here.
I think if Ryan Day takes some cocaine with Adderall,
I mean,
version of Ryan Day.
I feel comfortable with Ryan Day, outside the Michigan game. When it comes to big game rematches, like Clemson, you see what he did the second time around. Like,
Right.
I don't think that the people want to blast Ryan Day about his playoff record in big games. His big games were championship. All them teams won championships. I mean, Georgia, he lost at one point. Alabama was unstoppable that year. Nobody beating them.
Right.
Clemson, we beat them the second time around. Like, so, when it comes to playoffs, like, we show up. We show up in playoffs. We ain't no. And look, again, Ryan Day has done some things that other coaches at Ohio State has never done. He's beaten Clemson, which no other Ohio State coach has ever done. He also beaten the SEC, a true SEC team outside where Urban beat Alabama, but no, he ain't beaten like Kentucky or Vanderbilt. He beat he beat Tennessee, a great team,
Right.
and crushed them. So Ryan Day, he has some big game metal. It's just that ain't won it yet. So we want to
Right.
see him win it. And we'll see what happens. But I think Ohio State has a good shot. But this is definitely gonna be a tough task.
I think Ryan Day gets screwed just because. I mean, look who he's followed. I mean, look who he took over. He took over from a legend, man. Urban Meyer's a legend. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so Urban Meyer went 80, 90, 92 and 9
Yeah, he
was
won a
his
lot of
record.
games.
So I mean, he took over for a legend. You know what I'm saying? Who won his bowl games? I mean, even though he beat some bad Michigan teams, but he beat some good ones as well. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I think Ryan Day get the raw end of the stick. Honestly, in my book, I think he's a very good coach. I just think, like me and Goat Kent said, he has a Michigan problem. I think Jim Harbaugh and them got in his head. That's all. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It
We don't get
happens.
into a lot of Michigan in this podcast. I'm tired of hearing Michigan's name.
No, I'm just saying. But I think he just gets screwed. I just think he gets screwed. So, but I think Ohio State. I agree with Goat Kent. I think it's going to be a blowout just because I think we're
I
going to
see that
get
happening too. Yeah.
we're going to get Ohio State best efforts on both sides of the ball. And
I hope we get better effort than Illinois is giving right now because they're down again. You'll see. I
I
know.
see that 17-14, man.
That's all right. They battling. Hopefully they'll go for a 2-point conversion like Washington tried to. They should just kick the freaking field goal. But,
Washington went
they do
6-6, so and Louisville was 8.
yeah.
All right. So what's the
good
next one
catch.
here?
Look at that though. Look at that grab.
Whoa!
Get some. He throwing up the dollars and everything.
Hey.
But no, yeah, I mean, I think Ohio State can bust some behind. But we'll see what happens. Let's get into this other game before Boise State comes on and upsets Penn State.
Hey, that's what's up. Hey, really, honestly, man, my brothers, man. Hey, I love both of you, man. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, man? Why I hate both of y'all, so that's how I am.
I love.
Awesome to have you guys.
Hey, we're gonna go to this last game. We have Georgia versus Notre Dame. I think to me,
this is easy.
Personally, I think this is one. I think this one is going to be. Hey, y'all might be shocked.
Notre Dame gonna beat them.
That's all I gotta say.
Notre Dame gonna beat them. Notre Dame's gonna beat them. Well, go ahead, Illinois. First down. Big 10, baby. B-I-G.
Go ahead, David. Get your thing. All right,
I'm gonna start. I'm picking Notre Dame to win this game. I think they're stronger on both sides of the ball, and they're the more consistent team.
Absolutely.
So they've been consistent outside that loss to Northern Illinois. I think they've been the most consistent team in the country all year. Even more consistent than Oregon, even though Oregon is unbeaten. I feel like on the trenches, Notre Dame is strong. And I think
it's not hard to be consistent when you play against Army.
But they beaten teams.
Nah, Notre Dame.
I think teams out though. It's a different, like Indiana.
This is a different Notre Dame. This is a different Notre Dame team. I think Notre Dame's going to beat Georgia too, especially with Carson Beck out. Go ahead. Illinois.
I think it'd be even worse if he was playing. I feel like
I don't. But the thing is,
he was playing.
I don't think SEC is as tough as people keep saying, dude. Didn't Alabama beat Alabama up like 35-0 against them dudes at one point? Like, I mean, SEC is I don't believe in them. Like, I just really don't. Like, I mean, I'm watching South Carolina right now. They can't stop this great offense of of Illinois. But I'm saying, I just don't think the SEC is as tough as people. And Georgia, and you know what else? Georgia starts very slow. They start very slow. So when I see that, I'm like, man, Notre Dame is really solid on both sides of the ball. People are always talking about them like they can't play. They always let down in big games. I think Notre Dame is going to beat them. I think Notre Dame is going to beat them. I didn't know Notre Dame was as good as I thought. I thought Indiana would beat them. I was clearly wrong about that. Notre Dame looked stupid. Notre Dame looked pretty darn good, man. I'm not even going to lie to you. Now, that was a home game. It was nighttime, at least on the East Coast. Wherever John lives, I don't know, Jay Weezy. But that was a home game at night. So they did have that advantage. But Notre Dame looks good, man. And I never really have had confidence in Georgia as SEC teams all year. Like, they just seem like they just eking out wins, barely beating teams. Like, I mean, it's just like, they beating teams. I just don't. I think Notre Dame is going to put them out, man. I really do. I think Texas is going to be the one to carry the mantle in the SEC. I don't think Georgia's going to get.
And Georgia's better than Texas. They beat them twice. So, and that's the thing. No, I think Kirby Smart in big games, but I do agree with everything you said, though. I just think this is not the same Notre Dame team as years past. I think
this in your grandma's Notre Dame, and look,
this ain't your grandma's. I think Notre Dame is strong. I think their defensive backfield is strong. So I think they got the best.
Yeah, Marcus Freeman's a good coach. He is.
I mean,
he will be Ohio State's next coach if Ryan Day loses tomorrow. I'm just telling y'all. So,
He already signed the deal with them. So.
hey, that deal don't mean nothing.
yeah,
Ohio State pay for that.
we can avoid that. We can avoid that like Deshaun Watson's contract. We can avoid that real quick.
Right.
So yeah,
Can I get my insight?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank
So,
you. I'll please. So I know you guys got Notre Dame. I did pick Notre Dame to win this game, but let me remind you, Kirby Smart, is a championship coach, and I have the reservation sometimes with Marcus Freeman. Even though Notre Dame's a good team, you know that game against them. In the end, it was also in the red zone a couple of times too. Indiana got a good team for sure, but Notre Dame, even though they have a great defense, they should be able to take it to Georgia a little bit, especially with Stockton being back there. Now he's a 5-star quarterback coming out of high school, so he ain't no chump, But we're going to see, um, what he's made of um, in this game here, But Curry Smart gonna be ready to play this game. He's gonna be prepared, but. The issue I really have is on Notre Dame's side of the ball offensively. They're not going to just be able to run the ball down Georgia's throat. That ain't going to happen. Texas would have done it.
I agree with
That's
that.
that was and Riley Leonard he's a great QB when he's on the move, but he's not a great QB when he's stuck in that pocket. So that's my only concern because Georgia does have great athletes. They're up there with Ohio State when it comes to talent. They're the second most talented team in this whole thing, honestly. And
yeah.
so, you cannot ever underestimate the heart of a champion. That's a championship program over there. Notre Dame, if they want it, they're gonna have to go and take this because this will not be an easy close game. This is not gonna be a blowout. This is gonna be a close game. I'm looking at a 17-14, 13-10 type of game. This is gonna be a physical.
Slugfest.
Look, I agree. Marcus Freeman is a great coach. He's one of the best up and comers right now.
Uh-huh.
Physical coach, great coach. But this is gonna be a straight up 60-minute helmet to helmet. Your big bodies against big bodies in this game
I
here.
agree.
Um, and so this is to me, I think it's in the perfect spot. It's at 8 p.m. It's the prime time game as it
Uh-huh.
should be. But Notre Dame's going to have to go out there and take this one because Georgia they tough. They are the SEC champions. No SEC may be down, but they still the SEC, and they're the master class of it too. So. No, and they got momentum coming in. Think about it. If all the teams, you look at Ohio State, like look at Georgia though. Georgia has had to beat some good teams, but they back against the wall too. Like Ohio State and Georgia came in as the two most talented teams, and they had some struggles that they probably didn't think about. They probably didn't think they was gonna have, but they also had to win games when the back was against the wall, and so
Yeah.
Georgia went and won some big games on the road.
Yep.
On the road,
Texas.
Texas, yeah. Back against the wall, they had to win and get in.
Yeah.
So you cannot. That's the one part about the game, man. You cannot
Touchdown, Illinois.
underestimate. So that's my concern. This game here against Notre Dame is against that kind of level of talent. This can get out of hand. If Notre Dame doesn't play smart. But I got Notre Dame winning this game 17-14.
Yeah, SEC. I'm just not touchdown Illinois. I just don't believe in it. I don't. Everything I've been seeing, Georgia's a great team. Now it could go one of two ways because there's no real film out there on Gunnar Stockton like that. He can kind of do that Cardale Jones type thing, but at the same time, he can get the kitchen sink thrown at him. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm talking blitzes, all kinds of stuff, and he can be, he is a 5-star, but he can kind of get caught out there in the biggest game. We're going to see what happens, man. We're going to see what happens around him. But playmakers around him.
Notre Dame's best defensive players out this game, though. And so we know
going
in this game that they got to have stuff to run. And John, as Jay Weezy mentioned, Notre Dame secondary is probably the best in the country. They're great. They're elite. But can Notre Dame stop the run without their best defensive linebacker, best defensive player they have on their team out the game? So now you got the best defensive player out for the game for Notre Dame and the best offensive player out the game for Georgia. So now it's a wash now.
Right.
Now I know that Georgia's not going to be a throw in that secondary. That ain't going to happen. But if they come out and they can run the ball, if we see that first quarter, they run the ball down the throat, that Notre Dame's throat, they run the ball down the field against them, then we know who win this game. This game is about to run. This game is strictly about the offensive line.
This is going to be, I think,
Trenches.
it's Michigan versus Ohio State this year. How, hey, let's wait, see who's going to be the dumb fuck to make the mistake. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to be one of those type of games. Like 17-14. I can see it going that way. I don't see no team scoring in the 20s just because the way the game is going to be played it's going to be played on Notre Dame terms. I think Georgia has more explosive players, but I just think Notre Dame is too strong on them.
They don't have an explosive offense though.
No, they don't.
Georgia doesn't have.
But they can though.
But they
can though. That's the thing. Like OSU they had a offense either against look at Nebraska, look at against Iowa, against Michigan. But when they had to get real though, they can get real. That's my point.
Yeah,
they got more horses in the barn than Notre Dame has.
I guess they did get real in that overtime game where they outlasted the great Georgia Tech 44-42. I mean, we shall see. You know, I mean, maybe I just don't see them. You know, or they got real when they went against Kentucky. You know, 13-12. I don't know if y'all remember that game.
I'm just saying that. Hey,
so
they can hit the switch when they need to.
I'm just saying I don't believe in them. They were down 34-0 to a Bama team we just seen losing Michigan's backups. I just don't stop. Jay Weezy, man, stop, man. But I'm just telling you, man. Like I just don't believe in the SEC. I just do not. The SEC. I think this game. If Georgia was not in the SEC, everybody was talking about this game different. If Georgia was in the ACC, the team that they have been this year, where they started slow, the Ecobuy game, stuff like that, they would have been saying Notre Dame was going to win this game. But because of that whole SEC aura, it's the SEC. We play the hardest games. South Carolina can't even beat Illinois. They can't even beat Illinois. Alabama lost to Michigan's backups. Alex Orji was quarterbacking.
Man, that's
They ran the ball 50 straight times. Who saw Orji throw a pass besides the interception? I didn't. Did y'all see him throw a pass? The fourth quarter, third quarter? And they still lost. And so I'm telling you, SEC is not South Carolina coach out here getting carried off the field. He can't keep his composure. You know what I mean? Brett Beal is laughing at him. I mean, it's a mess out here, man. The SEC, they're all over the place. You know what I mean? So I just don't see it. I really don't see it. I think Georgia's carrying that SEC aura, and I don't think they are like that. But Kirby Jack or Texas Buck. I'm telling you right now, like I don't see now. If Georgia wins it, I got to give Texas. But he picked Notre Dame. I got to give him his credit. But I see past the aura, man. This team, I have not been impressed by this team all year. Yeah, they beat Texas. Well, Texas has a Georgia problem because they only beat Texas. That's all. Who else they beat?
Yeah, that's true. Hey, I agree with you. But I think
Lane Kiffin beat that ass. Lane Kiffin beat the brakes off of them. He beat the brakes off of them. And so
that's Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin is a mastermind offensively. I mean, so
that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, they beat Tennessee. We seen how good Tennessee was. You know what I mean? And that, I mean, I don't know, man. Like I'm just, I don't know, man. I'm just not convinced.
The similar to Ohio State, they're Jekyll and Hyde at times with it, but they've had some. To me, their hard schedule has been they've had a lot of road games, and so and they have been able to.
Georgia had some tough games though.
Yeah, and back against the wall, when they had to have it, like Ohio State, like OSU last week, they responded to the talent level, and to me, they have a gear they can get to. Notre Dame has. I think Notre Dame has already hit the ceiling. Georgia has another gear they can get to. Now, can they get to there without Carson Beck? I don't know. But we're gonna find out. Because who they are this game here, they're gonna be the same way next year because Stockton's gonna play next year too.
Yeah, he's the starting
five-star QB next year. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna see, if they real or not. I mean, they come out there with that old school, we can run the ball and okay. But I'm interested to see again, how does Notre Dame react with their top linebacker being out the game? The best player on defense being out the game. That's going to be, especially being a linebacker. That means that's the guy that's going to be in the run gaps. And the
Right.
AB gaps, who is picking the place of that? They got a senior, they got a stud player, freshman. I don't know, that we don't know about, but that's going to be key. We both agree this is going to be low. I think we all agree this is going to be a low scoring game. This is going to be a
Yeah.
heavy hitting, body blows type of game. You know, big body on big body, the kind of games we like.
Yeah. Hey, I agree with both of you. Everybody had great takes on this game. I think this might be the outside. I feel like this one is going to be the best game.
Yeah, I agree. Ohio State, Oregon, I agree. Ohio State, Oregon got talent across the field. That's a track meet. This one here is going to be
Club
physical.
pass.
Yeah,
You know,
roughnecks.
early 2000 football. Everybody going to run the ball. Hey, I can see Georgia doing that, pulling Ohio State against Michigan. Let's run it up the strength of Notre Dame's team.
But why not though? But why not though? Look, you got a freshman quarterback in the big game. Why
Yeah.
not just play that style play
Yeah.
and play punt the ball, trust the ball.
Yeah. I can
That,
see
that,
that.
that's what's gonna win this game here.
Yeah. It's gonna be. I'm
It's a
looking
good
forward
one.
to tomorrow. Tonight actually. We got an hour and a half to the first game start, so I'm pumped, man. I mean, we all gave great takes,
We
and
got an hour and a half. We got a half an hour.
it's a
Yeah,
7:30 game, right?
I thought it was 7.
I thought it was a 7:30 game.
Oh no, you're right. I'm sorry. It's 6:30. 6:30 game. My
It's six.
side. It's 10:30 you guys way. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Eastern.
it is a 7:30 game. Yeah, so you got an hour and a
So
half. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, it's gonna be. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the post game. For these post game for these games. So I'm Jay Weezy.
Gonna be
We
good.
had
Watching the end of the
Well,
Illinois
before
game.
before y'all got the we going to a new year, man. So let's make sure we all get right toes here. Happy New Year to you guys. Love you guys, man. My younger brother, Go Kent. My other younger brother, Jay Weezy. Hey, we're going to 2025. Hopefully, we can go in with a win. Unlike last year, we went in with Missouri loss and lost to Michigan. It was just tough start of the year. Let's go in with some good vibes. You know, we know the Cowboys ain't gonna make it, but at least Texas made it to the playoffs. Ravens are gonna be there. Cowboys, y'all get a good pick in the draft, so we might get Travis Hunter, might get Shador. Who knows? Who knows?
Nah, we ain't getting
Illinois.
Shador.
It might get Genty.
We
According to
need
Go
Gentry.
Kent, he
They,
gonna be a
they,
superstar
they,
tomorrow.
they,
So
they just cut Ezekiel while we was in the middle of the podcast. So
I know. I just seen
they
that
got
too.
faith
Hey,
in Gentry.
I'm glad. Hey, I don't know why they signed him in the first place anyway.
who got cut?
Zeke.
Yeah, he too old, man.
Yeah, right. He's too many miles,
Yeah, he
man,
pulled it out.
and he fat. So
He gonna go to Baltimore.
nah, they got
Ain't
Derrick Henry,
happening.
man.
They gonna win Super Bowl.
Derrick Henry ain't too many years behind him. I think he's a year behind him. So
But Derrick Henry's
You
he
still can't
invested his
stop him
body though,
though.
man.
yeah,
You
but he
see,
ain't got much
He
trailer
got.
from knees. At some point, he like
You
LeBron.
can't stop. Nah, Ron's all right. We're 4th seed in the West. We play tonight. We'll be playing the top-rated Cavs, who's a very good team. Who I think has a really good. Now I'm starting to think after watching them beat the Warriors, man, this team might. I know Boston is that team, but man, the Cavs might be for real, y'all. They might be for real. They beat the brakes off of Golden State yesterday. I mean, they're what 28-4, 29-4. The Boston got 8. Like, bro, I'm telling you,
Hey,
man. And they already
LeBron
beat Boston
never
once.
led Cleveland to this best of start ever.
Yeah, but
Just saying.
this Cavs team is way more talented than those teams, though. They're deep. They're young. They got 2 7-footers starting. They got
Hey man,
Donovan
it's a
Mitchell.
separate
They got
podcast,
freaking.
man. Hey, that's a
Yeah,
separate
no, I ain't done
podcast.
yet. Go James, y'all, at 9:00. Make sure you tune in.
All right, but I'm about to get off of here, man. But hey, Happy New Year to you guys.
Hey, Happy New Year's, my
All
brother.
right,
Love
same
both
to
of
you,
you,
man. Happy New Year's, everybody.
All
All
right, guys.
righty.
Yep.
Deuces.
Yep. Later.
Later.